Dear friends, this is your third video related to vector. In this video, we will discuss about resolution of vector. Resolution means it is a process of splitting a vector into its composite vectors. That means a plus b gives a resultant. But if a is unknown, b is unknown, you find out the value of a and b. If r is known, resultant is known. Therefore, if resultant is known, starting point of the resultant as per geometry, take origin. This is your x coordinate, this is your y coordinate in terms of two-dimensional system. And if you drop perpendiculars, you can take this much length towards x-axis as rx, this much length towards y-axis as ry. Therefore, as per the principle of Pythagoras theorem, I can write I r vector equal to rx plus ry vector using triangle law to the triangle, lower triangle rx plus ry, and this can be written as a I cap rx plus j cap ry. What is ij? I and j are unit vectors along x-axis and y-axis. If this angle is alpha, this angle is theta, this is always 90 because resolution process permits us take the angle between the two vectors is 90. That means you should split vector r into two rectangular components. Two sides represents, two vectors represents two sides of a rectangle. So therefore, tan alpha you can find out y component divided by x component. Okay. Now this is rx. Now again from the same triangle you can find out rx equal to r cos theta and ry equal to r sin theta. So therefore vector r can be written as a I r cos theta plus j r sin theta. This is your formula. That is, these two formulas are same, almost all same. In terms of rx and ry, you can put the values. Okay. How can you find out this formula? This is your theory, but come to the practical. If you take a can be split into two parts. Then you write a equal to iax plus jay, or b can be written as a ibx plus jby. What is ax? This is a cos alpha. What is ay? This is a sin alpha. What is bx? This is a cos theta. What is by? This is a sin theta. If you take any angle, accordingly you can write. This is, you can, in this triangle, this is alpha alpha. Okay, this is alpha. So as per this triangle, but here you can take any triangle, any symbol. So now this is your formula, theory, but you can take a, b, c, d in terms of r. For example, how can you solve this problem? Take vectors in different coordinates, different quadrants. Suppose I am writing a is a vector, makes an angle 30 degree with a line. How can you resolve into components? Along that line, you just imagine, along that line its component is a cos 30. And perpendicular to that line, its component is a sin 30. Therefore, you need not take x-axis, y-axis. You take what is the direction of vector. It makes what angle with which line. A is a vector. It makes 30 degree with this line. Along that line, its magnitude into cosine. Perpendicular to that line, its magnitude into sine. This should be taken into account. Okay. So now come to the second quadrant or first quadrant. Another example, you take, this is 10 meter per second. A person is moving with velocity that is some 37 degree with respect to y-axis. If it makes theta with this line, along that line its component is 10 cos 37 and perpendicular to that line this is 10 sin 37. Okay, and your original vector should be in the plane containing these two. Your original vector is plane containing these two. Then let us take another vector. This is a vector. I am taking B vector. Vector B makes an angle, suppose 53 degree with a line. Along that line its component is B cos 53. This line B sin 53. Okay, are you able to get it? Vector B makes an angle theta with any line. Along that line its component is B into cos theta. Here theta is 53 and perpendicular that line B sin theta. Now come to the fourth quadrant, that is this is 5 Newton force. 5 Newton force makes an angle, suppose 60 degree with a line. Along its component is 5 cos 60. Along this is 5 sin 60. Then come to another quadrant. Suppose I am taking momentum, that is 10 kg meter per second, which makes an angle, should say 20 degree with x-axis. Along this line its component is 10 cos 20, perpendicular this is 10 sin 20. So if you split any vector in this way, it will be easy for you to solve the various problems. Okay. Now this is your 3-dimensional system. In terms of 2-dimensional system, in terms of 3 dimension, now that is vector r can be written as a IRX plus JRY. There is a third component along z direction, that is a k unit vector along RZ. What is its magnitude? Root over Rx square Ry square plus RZ square. Similarly, if you take this is a vector A, IAX JAY KAZ. Magnitude A is root over AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. If you take vector B, IBX JBY KBZ. Magnitude B root over BX square BY square BZ square. Similar process you can write. Okay. Now if R makes an angle theta with x-axis, alpha with y-axis and beta with z-axis, then r cos theta that equal to Rx, r cos alpha that equal to Ry, r cos beta that equal to Rz. Okay. Now this is r cos theta. This r cos theta equal to Rx. Here L and M and N are called direction, cosines. These values you can use in your geometry. So what is L? L is cos theta. L is along x-axis, M is along y-axis cos alpha, M is cos alpha and N is cos beta. Okay. What is L square plus M square plus N square? This is equal to 1. So therefore cos square theta plus cos square alpha plus cos square beta that equal to 1. You can prove this also by putting all these values. If you put all these values in this equation and after solving you will get the same value, not necessary to remember L, M, N. Okay. This is your geometry. Now in terms of sine square, this is sine square theta plus sine square alpha plus sine square beta that equal to 2. So you can solve the problems by using these values. So these are the theory part. With the application of this theory we can solve the mathematical problems. Okay. Now let us solve this first figure, application 1. We have solved this video exactly same value, same figure in video 2, vector 2 with the help of Lami's theorem, but here you have solved this with the help of rectangular components of vector, means resolution of vector. Mark, Q is a vector which makes angle 60 degree with this line. Along this line its component is Q cos 60, perpendicular this line its component is Q sin 60. Similarly 5 makes an angle 30 with a line. Along that line its component is 5 cos 30 and along this line its component is 5 sin 30. Now system is equilibrium, means neither moving towards right nor moving towards left, neither moving towards up nor moving towards right. So using equilibrium along x-axis, equilibrium along x-axis, you write q cos 60, q cos 60 that equal to 5 cos 30. So from this q equal to 5 cos 30 divided by cos 60. So you can find out the value cos 30 by cos 60. Similarly, that is you use equilibrium along y axis. Along y axis, sum of these two equal to p. That means p equal to 5 sin 30 plus q sin 60. Now put the value of q and find out the answer. Okay, put the value of q and find out the answer. Now the answer is q is 5 root 3 Newton. Check it. This is 10 Newton. Check whether the answer is wrong or right. Okay. Now let us come to the second figure. This is a vertical wall. An object is suspended in a string, and this is mass of the object, weight of the object is vertically down. An external force F 30 Newton pulls this object so that it makes an angle 30 degree with vertical. Along the string tension is T. Now find out the value of T and W for vertical angle 30. That means this point is equilibrium point. Now you take the vertical line opposite to W. As per geometry, these two are parallels. This is connecting between the two parallel lines. This angle is 30. T makes an angle 30 with this line. Its component is T cos 30. Along this is T sin 30. Okay, using equilibrium along x-axis, that is T sin 30. T sin 30 that equal to 30. So therefore T is 30 divided by sin 30. So this is your answer. Along equilibrium along y-axis, this is your T cos 30 that equal to W. Now put the value of T, then find out W equal to what. This is your second answer. Okay. Now if you solve this, then you will get T equal to 60 Newton, and this is 30 root 3 Newton. W equal to, you will get 30 root 3 Newton. Substitute the values and check it whether your answer is wrong or right. Now let us come to the third equation. Three forces are acting in different directions, northeast, southeast, northwest. Then find out its resultant. Now northeast, south, that means just you draw a diagram. This is your east, this is your north, this is south, this is your west. Now come to the first vector. F1 is 3 root 2. Northeast means in between north and east. In between north and east means theta equal to 45 degree, because angle between north and east is 90. So in between it is a 45 degree. So now this is northeast. The vector is acting at the middle. This is 3 root 2. That means this angle is a 45. So if you split this vector into components, two parts, if you split it along this direction, this is 3 root 2 cos 45. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Root 2 cancels. 3 Newton along x-axis. This is similarly 3 root 2 sin 45. Sin 45 means again 1 by root 2. This is 3 Newton along y-axis. So first force F1 resolved into two parts. Then come to the F2. F2 is 6 root 2 kgf along southeast. This is also angle between, the vector is angle between the angle is in between the two directions, means theta is again 45 degree. South is the 6 root 2. So you take, this is your 6 root 2. Okay, this angle is 45 degree. So take, this is 6 root 2 cos 45. That means 6 Newton. This is 6 root 2 sin 45. That means 6 Newton. Then third vector is root 2 kg along northwest. Northwest is again theta is 45 degree with respect to north or with respect to west. So now this is west and north, this is root 2, that is opposite to this line, opposite to this line, this is root 2, you take this is 45 degree, root 2 cos 45 means 1 Newton. Similarly, along this direction, this is root 2 sin 45 means 1 Newton. Now this figure becomes now, that is along x-axis these two directions are same, therefore they can add up. Add means 3 plus 6, this is 9 Newton. Along y-axis this is 3 plus 1, this is 3 plus 1, that is 4 Newton. This is, I am writing 3 plus 6, this is 9 Newton. Along south only 1, this is 6 Newton. Along west only 1, this is 1 Newton. This figure again changes, that is along x-axis mark towards positive is 9, towards negative means 1 Newton. Therefore this is origin, along this is 9 minus 1, this is 8 Newton. Along down is 6, along 4 is, along up is 4, therefore down is a large, therefore this comes to down. This is 6 minus 4, that is 2 Newton. Therefore taking 8 and 2 as 2 adjacent sides, complete the parallelogram. Your resultant force is, that means F suffix R. This is root over Pythagoras theorem, x coordinate, y coordinate. 8 square plus 2 square. 8 square is 64 plus 4. This is root over 68 Newton. Okay, if you want to find out the angle, suppose alpha makes an angle with horizontal, therefore tan of alpha is perpendicular means 2 divided by 8. So this gives your direction, this gives your magnitude. So in this way you can solve the various problems. Okay, if you like this video, like it, share it, so that you will get more and more videos like this. Thank you.